What are guys like you and I are meant to be doing? Because I don't think listening to you that we're only meant to be podcasting and just sharing knowledge, number one.
I was going to say.
Number two is, what do ordinary people that are listening to us like the vibe? And we're telling them voting doesn't really mean fuck all, to be fully honest, because we've seen it. ANC went down. Most people that were meant to vote did not vote already, but we're calling this a democracy. So if they're not going to vote, or even if they do vote, what activism can they partake in? And outside of them, what are we supposed to be doing to also make their lives easier, to shift the narrative so that, knowing that South Africa was created like every other country, it's not a real thing. But as long as we see this as our country, as our nation, trying to get the type of leaders that actually prioritize the people living in this fucking place instead of the people that are profiting from this place.
What do we need to do?
What do we need to do? What does the ordinary citizen who likes the flavor?
I think, like you mentioned earlier, I must never get money because I'll be...
Homo, sorry, I don't know if you've been checking this camera. It's good, thanks, sir.
Not to say I must never get money. It's that the first thing we need, I honestly believe, because the people that wield the power, that's the one thing they all have. They have money. Okay? But before we get there, and because we can't get there now, we have to do what we can. And we are doing what we can. We need to keep having conversations about it. There is a overarching style that everybody has where they don't even talk about it. They know about it. You know what I mean?
They're scared.
They're scared to talk about it. And if they're not scared, it's not important enough to them because they're so high up, like a Trevor Noah. If he had to have a podcast where he talks about shit like this, he'd have a lot more impact than you and me.
Yeah.
But he won't. And it's not, I don't think, let me not say it's because he's scared. I don't know if he's scared or not. But I know that, why should he? He's worth a couple of 100 bars, bro. He doesn't give a fuck. I believe that they get to a level, you get to a don't give a fuck level on a fuck you money level, where the people who should be having the conversations, or we wish we're having more of them, aren't because they don't care enough. They are not part of the underclass, and they are not part of the people who actually need government to be credible so that they can have better lives. You know what I mean? I always make that example when people say the Western Cape is a well-run province. I say, no, it's not. It's well-run for the people who already have money. If you had to take the DA away, those people will be perfectly fine.
Facts.
They'll have PPA protecting them, so no one's going to touch them from a crime perspective. And they'll be living in the fucking 300 million rand mansions that they live in now on the Atlantic seaboard. But the people in Khayelitsha, Gugulethu, the Cape Flats, they'll still be fucked. DA or no, they fucked with the DA there and they'll be fucked with the DA gone. So I'm not convinced by that argument. But I think us sitting down and having these conversations about it, for those who listen, the internet is beautiful. It'll exist on there for the foreseeable future and people can go and revisit those conversations. It's that until then, this is all we can do. We can't unseat people.
Can we not?
We can't, bro.
Really?
This is my philosophy on voting. America just completed an election in which Kamala Harris is currently, her vote count is increasing 10, 15 days after the election. At these tranches of votes come in, where 20,000 ballots are dropped off, 18,400 for Kamala and 1,600 for Trump, 10 days after the election. That's nonsense. Anyone who believes that is a fucking idiot. They're stealing the election. That's what I believe. The other thing is, every state that she won in, there's no voter ID required. Anyone can vote. What the fuck? How are you supposed to have a free and fair election with no voter ID? Now, at least here we have ID and checks, and now I believe our system is quite secure. It's just that I believe, and this is going to be controversial, I don't care what anyone says, I don't think everyone's vote should count one. I think that some people's vote should count more. People who have more of a vested interest in when shit goes wrong here. If Eskom starts load shedding at stage 6, there are business owners who contribute massively to the fiscus. That's vote counts one. When this parastatal contributes massively to their ability to conduct their business, that person's vote should count more.
Sure.
You understand? Businesses should be able to vote. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't just be everybody's vote counts one. Now me, as Adrian Gore there, what's that Bali's name? The Discovery Bali.
Adrian Gore.
Adrian Gore. Why does Adrian Gore's vote count the same as my cousin Aziz, who's sitting in fucking Sun City prison? The fuck? No. Aziz is there because he's a murderer. You understand what I'm saying? It shouldn't be the same. His vote shouldn't even count the same as Warras' vote. But mine should count more than my cousin in Sun City prison. Now everyone's counts one. Because the prisoner is voting so that his life in jail can remain as his life in jail. I don't agree. I might come through with an El Salvador approach. In fact, I will. I think that the El Salvador guy just fucking shut the game down. Just launch them on all these motherfuckers and shut the shit down now.
And Nayib Bukele.
That's it. You know, Pope vibes. Like Brazil. That's what we need here. But I'm not in charge. You know what I'm saying? And neither is Adrian Gore. But he has more of a vested interest in the success of this country and in the proper governance of this country than a prisoner in Sun City. So with the voting thing, it's not going to change as long as everybody's vote counts one, because we're not all voting for the same reason.
Sure.
And I spoke to you about this before. I don't cast my vote for myself. I live in Hyde Park. My life is nice. I cast my vote because I hope that change will be made for Umatauzen there. That really depends on government to improve his life, you know? And until that changes, I don't think we're going to, the whole democracy scam.
You and I can't do anything until we have money. Is that what you're saying?
Pretty much, my friend. We need the money.
How much money? Patrice has got money?
No.
Do you think he can
we'll need enough money to launch a movement that can amplify this conversation that we have.
Like Umkhonto we
Yeah, how much money must we take to Umkhonto we to say, guys, stop with this Floyd. Everyone, let us also make some decisions. We can't just land at Umkhonto we and say we're taking the place of people that they've headhunted because they believe that those people are going to take forward better policy. I might not agree with all of their ideas. Do you understand? But if I had the money and the power that I'm talking about, the first place I'd actually go is I'd go straight to Isilu. I'd go to the Zulu King.
Yeah.
And I'd say to him, I think I have a plan for you for the Ingonyama Trust.
Do you think he'd listen? Do you think do you think he has power?
He has power, definitely.
He's not in charge.
Who?
Mr. Zulu.
No, he has power and he is in charge. But I
don't
don't
believe he has power.
I do believe he has power because of the
Do you think
position that
Mr.
he
Zulu
holds.
could, for example, say we are now going to change to the English kingdom and no longer the Zulu kingdom, and they'd listen to him?
Yeah, but
Or
you
are
would
now
never
going to
do
change
that.
the dress code?
What I'm saying
No,
is,
I'm just making an example of
what
how
I'm
much power he has.
Wait, the power that he has, I'm saying he can make it. He can make a decision to say we are doing this now with the Ingonyama Trust, 700,000 hectares
As
of
an individual.
arable land. He can, of course. He's the
I don't
custodian
believe
of
that.
it, brother.
I
He's
don't
in
care
charge.
about custodian. Cyril
Yeah,
is the
but-
custodian of South Africa.
Cyril is the custodian of South Africa, yes, but Cyril is beholden to
You don't think the king of the Zulus is beholden?
who?
To whichever stakeholders benefit from him sitting on that throne regarding the land and the resources and stability of you problematic Zulus.
Maybe he is, but I'd be lying if I've seen any evidence of it to the degree that what I'm telling him, what I would suggest he do, won't happen. Whereas if I have to go sit with Cyril and say, Cyril, please, let's cut off this entire green energy thing and let's pump the coal, I don't think he'll agree with me.
Do you think the Zulu king has that type of power?
He does have that type of power over the things that he has dominion over.
Yes, but things like power, schooling,
No, I don't think
the
so.
land, who mines the land,
What do
who
you
works
mean
the
in
land?
schooling with what in
To
school?
change the type of schooling in KZN
Two?
or in KwaZulu at least, just to implement something. One Pelapil, we want to have isiZulu schools where they don't teach in English.
Does he have power to make that happen?
Yes,
Well, if he says that's what he wants,
you believe so?
they'll listen to him at least. I don't know if they'd make that decision. I don't know if schools, do they want to learn in isiZulu?
Okay, no worries.
You know, last Pumakon, you remember Estates, the school in Freiheit?
Sure.
They had the medium of instruction was Zulu
Is it?
and English.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Zulu and English. But
So we need money.
the kids who were lazy wanted to learn in Zulu. Kids who wanted to
money.
excel. We need money, bro. But
We
like
can't
when I
do
say
anything-
money,
we
I
can't do
also don't
anything but
believe...
chat.
The first thing you and I are going to do if we get that money, well, me, if I get money, I don't mean money for myself so I can go buy Lamborghinis. I mean money in terms of you need the backing so that you can create a movement that a lot of these current ones that are the custodians and the MKs and the EFF, there's a lot of shit that they're not doing that they should be doing.